I am Batman. Average Sniper.
Hey, what's up everybody? Average Sniper here, and welcome to another PUBG video. Today I want to talk to you guys about the future of PUBG and maybe just a little bit about this gameplay as well. What I'd really like to see is a whole bunch of comments about what you guys think the future of PUBG is going to be, and also feel free to comment on my opinion of it as well. I love to see those comments in the comments section, especially if you're someone that's never commented before. I know on my last video I asked people to comment that had never commented before, and it was tremendous to see all the people that watch the videos but just don't comment. Your feedback is always appreciated, and one of the highlights of my day is just reading the comments on the videos that I upload. So I hope you guys use that comment section. All right, let's get started. So PUBG came out in March of 2017, and it was an incredibly unique game. I remember playing it for the first time and I was thinking, man, there's just no other game out there that's like this right now. Of course, we had some other battle royales before PUBG, but nothing took the market by storm quite like PUBG did. I was an H1Z1 player before PUBG came out, so I was a little familiar with the Battle Royale format, and I was able to get my first chicken dinner pretty quick. And ever since then, I got hooked on it. Now, PUBG was huge when it first came out, and a lot of people actually don't know this nowadays, but PUBG came out before Fortnite. I actually met someone not too long ago who made a comment, and they said, "Oh, PUBG? That game's just a knockoff of Fortnite." And I remember laughing to myself because PUBG actually came out before anyone even knew really what Fortnite was, before it was so hyped, before it had a Battle Royale mode, before any of that. So PUBG, I feel, even though PUBG's not the original Battle Royale, I feel like PUBG is the original Battle Royale that got the hype for Battle Royale really rolling into that snowball effect. And now there's tons of other Battle Royale games out there. Every time a new shooter comes out, people are asking, is it going to have a Battle Royale mode, this and that. So Battle Royale is here to stay, but I don't think it will always be hyped. And what I mean by that is, I think PUBG is here to stay, but I think the hype for PUBG has considerably died down. Things can only stay hyped for so long before they just turn into a regular game that everybody knows about. Some people may not have heard about it that aren't too involved in the gaming community, but if you are a gamer and you play shooters, you definitely have heard the name PUBG, Fortnite, and things like that. Well, my grandma has heard the name Fortnite. They had a crazy good marketing campaign, so we'll just stick to the PUBG talk for now, because probably your grandma and great-grandmother probably play Fortnite. It's crazy. But PUBG is really the shooter for me. I prefer more realistic shooters, but I do like the boundary between this is a video game and this is a shooter. I don't necessarily want to play a simulator, and I don't want my video game to be 100% based in reality, but I do want it to be kind of realistic, you know. I want to have fun playing it, but at the same time I want a realistic experience, and that's kind of what PUBG delivers. I would definitely not call it a simulator. You can get away with some stuff in this game that would never, ever happen in real life, but it does feel quite realistic when you're playing it. It gets your blood flowing, gets the adrenaline pumping, and you have an overall good time, especially if you're having good games and not dealing with any bugs or glitches. Now let's talk about what PUBG is going to do in the future. Even though PUBG is not always going to be hyped, it's not always going to be the most streamed game or the most talked about game, I believe it's always going to have a cult following, kind of like Counter-Strike. Counter-Strike is a game that's been around since I was a kid, and since my brother was a kid, and he played, I never really got into it, but he played the crap out of it growing up when he was very young, and that game is still going strong today, still on the top 10 for Steam charts, still has tons of players, tons of people streaming it, tons of videos being made about it, tons of people making careers off of it in esports and streaming. Well, I wouldn't say tons, but it's definitely got some people making careers out of it. And if you haven't heard about Counter-Strike, then you've probably been living under a rock, or maybe just started playing shooters, because Counter-Strike is one of the most popular first-person shooters out there. And it has been around for so incredibly long, it's crazy that it's still relevant. And I sincerely believe that PUBG is going to have this kind of effect. And the reason for that is because it's such a unique game. There's really no other game that matches it. The style of the game, the way the maps are designed, the overall feel of the game, the physics of the game, the things you can do in the game. It is a giant sandbox, and even though I have over 3,000 hours played between console and PC, I still have not done everything that you can do. I still see things that surprise me. New things consistently happen in this game that make me feel good and make me say, wow, this game is almost 3 years old and it still has things happening in it that I just never would have expected. Simple things like being able to shoot parts of the environment, like parts of doors down and shoot over them, or shoot out tires on a car, or just the crazy physics that come into play when you might be driving or jumping off something and you just never know how it's going to end. Sometimes I swear we're going to get in an accident and die when I'm driving the car, but we end up flipping it and coming out with 0 damage. Other times we end up exploding over a pebble. Very random, but there are rules to it, you know, and that's what makes the game so good. That randomness and just the sandbox effect where pretty much anything can happen. It almost feels like real life, except it's got that video game feel to it, so crazy things can happen that would never happen in real life. You drive in a car 130 kilometers through a field and you hit a frickin' gopher hole, you're probably all gonna die. And you might die in PUBG too, but the cool thing is you might not. So there's just, and especially playing with friends, that's another huge aspect of the game. I got bored of solos a while ago. You probably saw that I stopped uploading a lot of solo gameplay on my channel, and the reason for that is, one, it's just too much of a grind to get consistent solo chicken dinners, and two, it's boring. Let's be honest, playing solos for me is boring. I really have to be in the mood to play strategic and go for that win. Otherwise, I end up getting some kills and then getting killed, getting some kills, getting killed, and it's just a never-ending cycle. I might as well be playing Call of Duty or Battlefield. Both great games, but not the kind of gameplay you go for when you play PUBG. So playing with friends is another huge reason why PUBG is going to remain not hyped forever, but relevant. And not forever, but I could easily see, if I could jump 10 years into the future right now, I bet people will still be playing PUBG. I bet it will still have a big following. I bet people will still be making videos about it. And that would be awesome. That would be so awesome. Of course, people will move on to other games, but you'll always have the diehard players like me who play other games but always come back to PUBG, keep making videos and content and streaming it. It's just so much fun. And that's another thing. For streamers, it's such a fun game to kind of sit back, relax, interact with your stream. There's not consistent action all the time. You can have fun. You can have fun with your squad mates, have fun banter on the stream, and people just love that. It's been my experience streaming this game for almost 3 years that people just love that. So I think PUBG is here to stay. What do you guys think? I really want to see what you have to say in the comments about whether or not you think PUBG is here to stay, and also whether there's going to be another version of PUBG. Do you think they'll ever remaster PUBG, or maybe just come out and make an announcement that they're making PUBG version 2? A second version of PUBG that has less bugs? Because let's be honest, bugs, desync, lag, and glitches have been issues in this game since launch. And every time they made a patch for the first couple years, we were very hopeful that these issues would be worked out, but they just seem to be part of the game. You know, it seems like sometimes you get in a game, in a match, and you can't be touched, all your bullets hit, your accuracy is on, and you get that win. But the next game, you can barely stand a chance, you know, against players that are on the same skill level that were in the last game. Of course, one of the main reasons you die is people just outplay you, but you get that feeling when you're playing sometimes that even if you did everything right, you still died. And that's one of the things that sucks about this game, and one of the reasons why a lot of people quit playing it. But I am hoping that if they ever remaster or make a second version of PUBG, they will really, really focus on the netcode, because I think that's the most important thing in a game where there's no respawns, and when you die, it's over, and you have to wait for your friends to finish up the match, which could take half an hour, or you have to go to the lobby and start a brand new match all over. So netcode is definitely one of the things I'd like to see them focus on, whether they do it in the current PUBG or a new one. Thanks for watching, guys. I really, really hope you enjoyed this video. Like I said, leave a like and subscribe. If you enjoyed, press join if you'd like to support, and I look forward to reading your opinion on what you think the future of PUBG is. Thanks, everyone. Later. Bye.